Good morning, children. Welcome back to English online class of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. How are you all doing, children? I hope all my dear children are doing good and safe at home. Yes? Okay, then let's start our today's session. Today we will discuss a poem. The poem titled Macavity, the Mystery Cat. Macavity, the Mystery Cat is a poem composed by T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot is a modern English poet. So before exploring the poem stanza-wise, let's recite the poem once. Macavity is a mystery cat. He is called the hidden foe, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying Scots' despair, for when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. Macavity, there's no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare. And when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. Macavity is a ginger cat, he is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly doomed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake. And when you think he's half asleep, he's always wide awake. Macavity, there's no one like Macavity. For he is a fiend in feline shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in a by-street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime is discovered, then Macavity is not there. Poem by T.S. Eliot. First look at the title, Macavity, the Mystery Cat. So Macavity is a name given to that mystery cat. What do you mean by mystery? Mystery means something that is unable to understand, which is impossible to explain, which cannot be explored. The poem Macavity, the Mystery Cat describes the criminal activities of a mystery cat. It describes the criminal activities of a cat who leaves the police baffled or confused. Macavity, the Mystery Cat, is responsible for the state of bafflement of Scotland Yard or the Flying Scot. In the first stanza, the poet describes how this mystery cat, Macavity, he leaves the police, how he makes the police baffled or puzzled. Let's see how he makes the police baffled or confused. Baffle means make them confused. So let's explore how this Macavity or how this mystery cat makes even the police baffled. In the first stanza, the poet says, Macavity is also known as the mystery cat or the hidden foe, and he is responsible for the bafflement of the Scotland Yard or the Flying Scot. Why he is responsible? Because he is known as the master criminal or he is known as the greatest criminal. He commits all the crimes and he disappears from the spot of crime. So before the Scotland Yard or before the Flying Scot arrives at the spot of crime, he will disappear from the spot. Scotland Yard is the headquarters of the London police force, and the Flying Scot are the police or the soldiers who reach at the spot of crime, immediately when they are called. So even they cannot catch this mystery cat. So when they reach the scene of crime, they cannot find our mystery cat by the time he has disappeared or he had disappeared from the scene. So he is also known as hidden foe because he can disappear from the spot of crime within seconds before the police arrives. He is such a master criminal that he disobeys the laws put forward by the government, or he makes our police in despair, means he makes our police disappointed because they cannot catch the criminal. In the second stanza, the poet describes the characteristics of our mystery cat Macavity. The poet says that the mystery cat even breaks the laws of nature, not only the laws put forward by the government, but it defies the laws of nature. How? Even the law of gravity defies the law of gravity. Whatever is heavy is tend to fall down according to the law of gravity. But our Macavity, our mystery cat, has powers of levitation. Powers of levitation means it can float in the air without any support. So even it defies the laws of nature. And if you search for him in the basement means floor, and if you search him in any other rooftops, you will not find him. Macavity is disappeared from the scene of crime. So wherever you seek him, wherever you try to search him, he is not seen or he is not found. Before the police arrives at the spot of crime, he will be disappeared. In the third stanza, the poet describes his physical characteristics. He says that Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin, and he has sunken eyes, and his eyebrows are deeply lined with thought. Deeply lined with thought means he always thinks of plans. He always make plans. He always make plots. Make plots means he always try to find out different strategies to commit the crimes and how to escape from the spot of crimes. So he is always in thoughts. He is always in deep thoughts. As a result, his eyebrows are deeply lined with thought. As he has only time to think of plans, he doesn't bother about his physical appearance. As a result, his coat is very dusty, and his whiskers means the long hair that is seen on the face of the animals. Even he doesn't have time to comb his whiskers, and he doesn't have time to clean his coats. He has only time to make plans of committing crimes. You can always see him moving his head from side to side just like a snake. So by all these physical characteristics, he is easy to identify, but even the flying squad or the Scotland Yard is unable to catch him or to find him. He is very unique in his physical appearance, as he is very unique in his criminal activities. When you see him sleeping, actually he is not sleeping. He is always alert. He is always alert and active. He pretends that he is sleeping. He actually confuses the police and the people around him. In the fourth stanza, the poet says that he looks like a devil. He is like a devil in a form of a cat. Actually, he is a devil. Why the poet calls him devil? Because he does all the criminal activities. He is a monster of depravity. Depravity means a monster of criminal activities, a monster of moral corruption. He does all the moral corruption. That's why he is called a devil. He does all the criminal activities. That's why the poet is describing him as a fiend or a devil, a monster who does all the corruption, who does all the criminal activities. You may find him in by square, or you may find him in any square or in any streets. But when the police discovers his crime and when they reach the spot of crime, he is not found. The police cannot find him, even though they search everywhere. So there ends our poem. In the poem, it is actually a cat, but it is a fictional character. It is an imaginary character. The poet has created such a character out of his imagination. I hope you all understood the poem. So go through the notes that I attached. So that's all for today. Let's wind up the session. See you in the next class.